as well. Everyone will receive a recording after today's call. So to get started, all you need to do is go to finmo.ca on your smart device. The great thing about Finmo is that it's mobile friendly, so you do not have to download a mobile app to use Finmo on your device. So once you log in, it's just going to work the same as if you logged in on your computer. It's going to take you into the dashboard where you can see all your recent activities, so you can see who's uploaded docs for your review, who has accepted an invite to the application. And again, just like on your desktop, you can just click on these line items and it will take you right into that deal. So for here, if I wanted to view new documents uploaded by Erin James, I can just click here, view the documents that she's uploaded, and then from there I can either approve them or put them as needs attention. You can also create new requests on your phone and also do a broker upload if they sent it to you by email. Also in the deal controls, here you can update the borrower. So if you need to send them a message letting them know that there's outstanding documents in this case, or if there's a document that they need to fix, or if everything that you've reviewed looks acceptable, you can just post that message here and send that from your smart device. You can also add internal notes. So if you've added maybe a coworker to the deal for them to, review while you're away or out of service, I should say, you can also do that on this page as well. So we're just going to go back to the main navigation page here. And again, we were previously on the dashboard, but here you can also select deals. You can also create a referral link under lead generation. You can also have control of your team settings if you have that admin permission. And then, of course, you can access the help center. So if there's anything that you're getting stuck on while you're on the go, you can access the help center. And you can also use the chat on the bottom right-hand corner. So if you didn't have time to look up an article or you weren't finding what you needed in the help center, you can send a chat to our support team and we'll help you while you're on the go. So let's just click on deals here. And for some of you, if you're used to looking at your deals in a table format, you can actually change that by just clicking on the plus icon where it says deal control, and then go from a table view to list view. If you're working off of mobile, I would definitely suggest working off of the list view because it's much easier to see. So to minimize the screen, I'm just going to click the minimize icon here. And then here you have a better view of your deals instead of the table view. So here, if you click on the plus icons beside the deal, it will open it up and it will show you, what the status of the application is. We can look at other deals where, for example, there's documents for your review, you've received the credit consent. You can see if there's been a document uploaded for e-signing and what the status of that document is. And you can also see who's assigned to a deal. So let's say if you are going away on holidays and you know that there's going to be some periods where you're going to be completely out of service for maybe long periods of time, you have the ability to assign somebody that you work with to the deal to help you out while you're in those areas with limited to no coverage. So all you would need to do is just click the plus icon and then select from there who you want to add to the deal. So we're going to go down to the deal details, click edit deals, and then here you can add in another broker or maybe a mortgage assistant that you work with. So that way when documents are uploaded or there's been a change to the application or if it's been submitted, they're going to get notified as well. And you also have the ability to archive deals in here as well. So if you did receive a deal that that's, let's say, junk, or you know that the person is not coming back, you do have the ability to archive those deals. Also, what you have for your deal controls here are filters. So the same filters that you use on your desktop, you can use here. So you can select who the deal is assigned to. And we've actually just added this. This is a new feature. So this is going to appear on your mobile devices as well as on your desktop computer, that now you can actually view who the deals are assigned to. So if you have an admin level permission or a team member permission, you can see other people that are assigned to the deals. Before it used to be me or all. Now you can see other brokers or other mortgage assistants that are assigned to the deal and filter it that way. You can also filter deals by document status. So if you just wanted to look at deals while you're on the go for people who have uploaded documents for your review, you can definitely do that. And then just to clear those filters, you just hit the clear button here, and it will take you back to your main deal view. For lead generation, if you do have those permissions, you can create a new referral link, and you have the ability to now edit links. Before you weren't able to do that, but now we've added the edit option. And again, this is going to be on your computer as well as on your mobile device. So when you click edit, you can make the following changes that you see here. So who the deal should be assigned to, or who the team member should be assigned to when these referral links come in. And you can also change the referral link name. So if you made a typo in the person's name, you can modify that here. And of course, you can see the deals that, that those referrals are coming in from. So if you did have a referral link, if you were on the go and you created a referral link, or somebody that you created a referral link for texted you and said, you know, I've lost my link, could you resend that to me? You can simply just copy that link and then send that to the person that you created it for. Also, you have your team settings. So those with admin permissions that will have these controls. If you're a team member or a limited team member, you won't see the settings. There's certain things that you will be able to do in the account and certain things you won't be able to, and settings is definitely one of them. So here you can, if you needed to add somebody to the deal assignments, if you are going to be away on holidays or working remotely, and there's going to be times where you're not going to be in coverage areas, you can assign that person beforehand so that they're also receiving notifications, or you can assign them directly to a deal. Now, what I've done is I've also started a application, and I wanted to show you what it looks like for your clients when they go to complete an application on their mobile device. So a lot of my training sessions, I always showcase what it looks like on the computer, but here I'm going to show you what it looks like on their phone. So I've started an application as a borrower. I'm adding the properties, I'm going through the application, and I'm adding all the different fields that it's requiring. And so here I'm on the review application. So this is the last stage after they've entered in what their borrowing goals are, and you know, who's on the deal, like which borrowers are on the application, their income, etc. So here on the last page, They can put in their additional notes. They can review your credit consent if you've got the online consent turned on. And they can submit the application and also receive the documents. So again, if you have those smart documents turned on, if you're using Finmo Pro, you're using the smart documents, here you can see where they can receive a list of which documents they need to upload based on the answers that they've provided in the application. And they can just click on these line items to upload the documents. If they need a description of what's required, they can just click read more and it will give them that description. So just a few things to note that when you are working on the go or if you're working in a remote location, definitely check with your service provider if you do have service in those areas. Sometimes they'll provide a map, but it's always best if you phone them before, ahead of time before you're going away to make sure that they have, proper coverage in those areas. Let's say if you're a broker in Toronto and you have a cottage in, let's say, the Kawartha Lakes, in cottage country, your provider in the city may not be able to provide the services that you need and the coverage that you need while you're out of town, while you're in at your cottage. So there's a few things that you can do. You can call your provider to see what you need to do to ensure that you have a proper setup in that area, or you can look at local providers. So for example, in the Kawarthas, it's Cogeco. They may be a more suitable provider because they're local rather than somebody that is in your area where you work or where you live. Other things to consider is when using Wi-Fi on holidays, make sure it's a secure connection. So for example, if you go on a cruise, make sure that the Wi-Fi that they're providing is a secure connection for you. You can definitely, check with the staff there to confirm that information. You don't want to be using free Wi-Fi where there isn't a secure connection. So if it's asking you for a password to log in, that usually tells you that it is a secure connection, but definitely confirm that ahead of time. So I'm going to open up, I'm going to see some people are chatting in here. So Mark asked, how are documents submitted to a chosen lender until Finmo allows that service? Submitted to a chosen lender. Okay, so if I went back to the broker with the broker sees the broker portal on the mobile device, and again, you can do this on your computer as well. So I'm just going to go away from my settings and I'm going to go into deals. Oh, let's go back to main navigation and then click on deals. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to go into the deal. And then you'll need to go into deal. Oh, sorry, wrong one. This line item up here will take you to documents. And then from there, if they have documents in here, you just click on it, you download it into a PDF, and then you can upload that to your lender's portal, or you can email it to your lender depending on what their requirements are. This test application is probably not the best one to use. Let me just find one where there's multiple documents. So I can show you when it looks like. Let's try George Smith. We're going to go to documents. So here he has a whole bunch of documents that he's uploaded and that you've accepted. So instead of going into each one and clicking download PDF, you can do multiple downloads at once. So as long as there's nothing in for your review, or you should be able to just click the download PDFs and it will convert all of them into PDFs, and then you can send that to your lender that way. If you have any questions, feel free to post that in the chat. Kevin posted, would a VPN help with security when working out of the office, for example, on vacation? Yeah, I mean, you can definitely check with your provider if that is what the recommendations are. Also, check with your office to see what their recommendations are if you're going to be working remotely. So if you're going to be working off of Wi-Fi or using a different connection just to make sure that the security is there. Another thing to take into consideration is when you go to your account. So let me just go back to the main navigation page here. When you select on your account, as you see here, you do have the ability to set up two-factor authentication. So the two-factor authentication means that when you go to sign into Finmo, it's an extra layer of security that's asking that will prompt you to sign in so that you can get into your Finmo account. It's highly recommended that you enable this. Again, it provides that extra shield, and if you're going to be working remotely, it's a great feature to have. Also, when you are traveling, make sure beforehand that you call your service provider and find out not only if there's coverage in that area, but if you could, extend your plan or get a better plan to make sure that you're not getting any surprise charges in those areas. For example, if you're overseas and you're having to use towers that are in another country, you can get a surprise bill. So it's always best that you call your service provider beforehand and see if you can get a top-up package. So, for example, when I travel to the States, I let them know what areas I'm going to be traveling to, and if I can get a plan that's going to cover me for text messaging, phone calls, internet coverage, whether I'm using well, if you're using a Wi-Fi, there shouldn't be additional coverages, but if you're using towers in another country or even in another province, you definitely want to make sure that you're covered so that you don't get those surprise bills. I remember hearing years ago somebody got a $5,000 bill because they used their phone in Russia. So make sure that you call your service provider beforehand. Make sure that you top up your plan, even if it costs an extra $50 or $100. It could be well worth it because you don't know what other countries are charging for international customers to use their towers. So something to consider. Let's see, from Michelle, if we have a client who has a spouse or co-borrower who doesn't have email, can we update the primary borrower with all the outstanding documents needed for both? So yes, you can update the primary borrower. So if I went into this application, I'm just in my personal account details now. Let me see here. I can't think of a application where I have two borrowers on it. I'm just going to go out of my dashboard and into my deals. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, yes. So now we've also added, this is a new feature. Before it used to just outline one borrower on the deal, but now we will also list what other co-applicants are on the deal under the borrowers column here. So here I have two people on a deal. So I can just go into this deal. I'm going to go into the menu item and go to documents. So here you can see who has access or which documents are being requested for each borrower. So if it's just one person, they're going to have, it's going to show each person's name here. They can click on that person's name and they can upload documents on their behalf. And then when on your end, what you can simply do is just send them a reminder, update the borrower, and list which documents need to be uploaded or which ones have been newly requested. It will outline it here. Also, when you select your borrowers, you can just keep it as the one. So I'm just going to put 2 to show the list of outstanding documents, but since this person's not set up by email, it will still show what documents they need to upload. So you can just do it that way. So maybe I'll just, can't copy this on here, but you can copy, remove this borrower, and then paste what items are outstanding and just add a note. Please upload documents for all borrowers. All right, Merv just posted, one issue I ran into is that the co-borrowers are married, but it only gives the option of how they are related to the primary borrower. Once pushed to expert, this caused 3 borrowers instead of 1 primary and a couple. Credit reports came in duplicate most of the liabilities. Okay, so co-borrowers are married, but it only gives the option of how they're related to the primary borrower. Yes. So Merv, that's actually a really good question. I mean, I've had applications before where, you know, it was the daughter was on the application and she was bringing in the parents to help her out with the purchase. So I guess I'd have to take a look at that deal to see exactly what happened. I mean, I never ran into any issues with push to expert, but once push to expert, this caused 3 borrowers instead of 1 primary and a couple. So I'll have to take a look and see what happened there. Wally just posted, does Finmo come in French or in any other languages? Right now, it's currently just English. We are looking at making it in French, but we don't have anything official yet. Also, you can do your e-signing on mobile. So for those that that are new to Finmo or that may haven't seen the platform in a couple of weeks, we did introduce e-signing a few weeks ago. So you can click here. Oh, it's asking me if I want to update the borrower before I leave that page. So I just clicked a button that made the screen a little bit bigger, so some of the buttons might be covered a bit. But here you can edit or add documents to be signed. So the same way that you do it on your computer, you can do it on your phone. So I know these buttons are really small here at the bottom, but it's basically just showing you which documents have already been signed. So if you needed to upload additional documents, you just click the document tab here or icon at the bottom right-hand corner, and then you can select your documents here at the top. And that's just going to bring them from my folder here. You can open it and then scroll down to that document if you want to work on it. You're going to select your recipients. And then here you're going to select which fields, the paper with the pencil icon on top of it, which fields they need to sign. or initial. So I know that the Finmo logo is kind of covering the signature, but you can click up there and select it still. So if I click on here and I want to choose the format, I need to go to settings, which is this gear icon on the right-hand side. And then I want to capture a signature. And then I can send that e-signing request. So here you can also do, you can also upload documents for signing. So definitely play around with this on your phone, especially if you're planning on working remotely or maybe taking permanent vacation and you want to live at your cottage for the rest of your life. Why not? But this just shows that you can take Finmo wherever you go. So, you know, I use Finmo on my smart device as well. If people are sending me, a chat after hours, I will use Finmo on my cell phone to access what I need to access. So it does work. It's actually really fantastic. If you have a tablet, it's probably a little bit easier on the eyes if you're using it on your tablet. But you can also just use your fingers to, to scroll into certain areas on the screen if it appears too small, and then work with it that way. All right. Do we have any other questions? Any mobile questions or any desktop questions I can answer. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. So thank you so much for everyone's time. And a copy of the recording will be going out to you via email this afternoon. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions after the session that you didn't think of at the time, use the chat icon and intercom here on the bottom right-hand corner. You're going to have that also on your computer screens that you can post your questions, and we're always here to help. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.